Welcome to Charmed Life, a radio show discussing spirituality, magic, and the unconditional love of the universe. Thanks for tuning in. And I'm your host, Tricia Carr. Thank you for being here with me today. I'm really excited about today's show because I have with me Archangel Raphael, the healing archangel. And I'm really excited to connect profoundly with that energy and to allow it to flow through me and to connect with your energy, your questions, your heart, your curiosity about your own soul. That is what is going to make this connection really profound and really special. So I have the expectation of really amazing things happening over this next, about 50 minutes or give or take. And I hope that you do as well. And that expectation that you have is exactly what causes the energy flow. So thank you so much for that. I've entitled today's show, and by the way, it is just me. I'm doing a solo show. I've entitled today's show, The Universal Law of Positive Energy. And additionally, I put in there Archangel Raphael and also Telempathy. So I'm going to be breaking down all of the intentions behind the title of the show. And before I get started on that, I want to mention just a couple of things. First of all, hello to the Lightworkers Lab, online spiritual community hosted on Facebook, founded by my amazing, dear, luminous friend, Crystal Ann Compton. Actually, Crystal's going to be on Charmed Life next episode, I believe it is. Correct. If she's not on next episode, forgive me. I'm just not remembering the schedule exactly. Time is an illusion, and sometimes I don't connect with it. But Crystal will be on coming soon, if not next episode. And the Lightworkers Lab, you can find, like I said, on Facebook as a group. It is a dynamic, powerful online community of fellowship, resources, and education, and a place for you to be able to express your awakening experience, your ascension experience, and your spiritual exploration. I am a moderator. I am a teacher and a guide in the Lightworkers Lab, and so you'll be seeing, I go up live and offer teaching and readings and all kinds of stuff every Wednesday evening. So if you want to check that out, I would love for you to experience the power of spiritual community. And I would also like to point out that my dear friend Lauren Antuofermo, who has been on the show a couple of times. She's an Archangel Realm reader. She is a physiologist. What is it? Oh gosh, what is it? She has a background in physiology, I should just say. And she's a powerful teacher and a powerful channel. She channels the archangelic realm. She's a dear friend of mine, a sister even. And she has a program that is about to launch, and it's really an amazing program. It's called Body of Light, and you can find it by looking in the notes of this show. If you are watching on YouTube, or if you're listening to the podcast on iTunes or Spotify or iHeartRadio, you'll be able to find it. I can recite it for you right now. It is learn.lightworkerslab.com/body-of-light. I believe that's what it is. I'm double checking on the fly. This is a live podcast after all. That is it. I said it right. So, but you can click through the link if you look at the description here. Again, I highly recommend Lauren Antuofermo and her work. And one last thing I want to tell you about what I'm doing, and that is a class series, Archangels and Universal Laws. And so thus the inspiration of today's topic. This is a series that is a cycle of 7. We will be working with an archangel and exploring a universal law every single month for 7 months. And so there'll be a meeting session, and then of course there in between there is further development and unpacking of the download that we would receive in the session, the class that I would teach. And it's hosted on my Patreon page, my Patreon community, patreon.com/Tricia Carr. And so the way that you can find and read more about it is triciacarcharm.com/AA-UL for Archangels and Universal Laws. I won't go too much more into it right now. Maybe I'll talk a little bit more about it later in the show, but go check it out. There is an early bird kind of pricing that you can lock in for the entire series if you join before the 1st of November. So we're in October of 2018. So before November of 2018. And if you're listening to an archive, I would encourage you to go to that web address anyway, because I should be offering that as an on-demand class too. All right, without further delay, allow me to get centered and get into the topic of today. And the energy of Archangel Raphael does hold witness and connect to this transmission, to this time that we're spending together, and I honor this. I also want to attribute at the beginning of this discussion another person who is a human person, and his name is Darryl Anka, Darryllanka. He's someone that I mention every now and again. He's a channel, and he channels someone called Bashar, who is a star being or an extraterrestrial who is of a higher dimensionality, and really powerful work. The reason I want to attribute to Darryl is because I was recently when I was in meditation, I discovered that it was time for me to have some mentoring or to find a teacher to connect with. Now, sometimes that means reading a book, and sometimes that means actually taking someone's program. Well, as it turned out, I was led to Darryl's work, and I believe his website is basharcommunications.org, but you can find it by searching Bashar Darryl Anka. You'll be able to find his website. And I've already been following his work, and I've been to a workshop, but I discovered on his website that you can actually you can purchase and download some workshops that have already been offered live. And so I was guided to download many of these, purchase many of these, and allow them to be a tutelage for me, a mentorship. So much of what I'm discussing today, as I'm in that mentoring program that is sort of passive on the side of the teacher, but active on my side, that definitely a lot of that new or rediscovered information of my soul will be shining through this experience today. And as such, allow me to get into it by talking about the title, starting off with the first part, which is the universal law of positive energy. And what I mean by that, positive energy versus negative energy. So as I'm going to be looking into this today, as Archangel Raphael stands by to help us to understand these principles more, these principles of energy, I want to point out that when you hear me talk about positive and negative as it concerns this session and this train of thought, positive and negative are not emotional judgments. This is more of a physical, energetic kind of look at these, at what positive energy is and what negative energy is. And so rather than thinking of positive as good, negative as bad, or positive as happy and negative as sad, think of it as positive energy being that which integrates and creates or materializes. Negative energy being that which disintegrates or dematerializes. And these are energies, this function of it, this ebbing and flowing of energy, flowing and ebbing, is what we need in the physical experience. It's what we need in any experiencing, in the experience of being somehow individuated from the experience of all that is, source energy. So again, positive is that which is materializing or integrating, and negative is that which is disintegrating or dematerializing. You see, we actually do need negative energy to dematerialize that which we have created in order to rematerialize or in order to create something new. This is flowing. This is cyclic energy. And this is just how energy works. We know that the universe and all that we experience, all that we are, is energy. And everything is energy. And in the experience of creation, or some kind of duality, or the experience of something being, we have to have both creative energies and disintegrating energies. We need both. Otherwise, we have only one energy, which in highest truth, that's all that there is. But in the experience of creation, the experience of having a song or a story, we have both. Oh, we have a caller. Great. Well, that was perfect, actually. So I didn't mention yet, but someone must have read it, 323-524-2599 if you have any questions. And so let's go ahead and bring this caller on. Hello, you're on the air. Who's this?
Hi, it's Tiana, and I'm happy to join you here.
Hi, Tiana. How are you, darling?
I'm doing great. I would love to get a lot more insight about like what the call is about, so I can, I'm just tuning in, and I just clicked on Facebook and I saw it, and I caught it just in time. So I would like to know what's going on.
Okay, well, my name is Tricia Carr, and I am a spiritual teacher. And today I'm teaching about positive and negative energy in the metaphysical sense, and how positive energy is the energy of creating, and negative energy is the energy of uncreating or dematerializing. So, are you a spiritual seeker? What was your urge to call in, Tiana?
I am. I'm into like a lot of spirituality. I do the herbs and everything to cleanse my atmosphere, and I've noticed that, since I've started, trying to cleanse my air, a lot of people have been coming into my life really just annoying and bothering me. And, when you just spoke about that, about positive energy and negative energy, I feel like that's something that I'm going through right now. And it's like I'm stuck in the middle, but I want to move on. But my current situation, I have to stay here in this environment where it's constantly negative energy, and sometimes it's from the people, like your family, and sometimes I just don't know what to do in those situations.
Okay. Well, what I would love for you to experience is that we have the the herbs that you're using and the ways, the tools that you're using to create an experience around you, that those are just tools, that actually you are the one who is doing the creating, and those are assistants for you to be able to manifest whatever energy or whatever situation that is around you. And so I would love for you to feel into your own pure essence and recognize how powerful that you are, and that that fundamentally it is you who is creating a field around you. And this field comes from your feeling body. How we experience our own energy, the transmission or the frequency that we send out is really the feeling. Not so much as like I feel sad or I feel, happy. It's more about the beingness kind of feeling nature. And that is the signal that we send out like a radio tower. And so if you want to experience others coming into your space that are, let's say, for example, joyful or positive, forward moving in that emotional sense, and want to build and create with you, then start to extend that energy to yourself, and that frequency will come out. So starting to cultivate your own self-acceptance and self-love, and giving yourself permission to be exactly who you are, even starting right there. I can feel that you feel that resonating. I'm allowed to be who I am. I should be who I am. Yeah. You feel that maybe is kicking up a little bit of feeling inside of you like, oh my gosh, I think that I don't give myself permission. I don't hold my own beauty and allow it to emanate out into this world. Can you feel how some of that maybe wants to expand in you?
Yeah, and everything you're speaking is like, it's right on time. Like it just clicked in my mind, like that's a thought, or maybe my intuition. I was just telling myself like yesterday, like all this time I was caring about what others think about me, and it's okay to be myself, because I have to have a new perspective towards people and look at them like I look at myself, because sometimes we are all one, we are all the same, and they don't have any control over me.
Right. That's absolutely right. And everyone who is in your experience, this is a way that you've actually created them in a sense, because you've created the relationship with them. Everything that's in your experience, everyone who comes into your experience is really just a mirror for your inner vibration, showing you some beautiful lesson, some beautiful awareness that your soul wants you to experience. So just to be a bit extreme, if someone is coming into your experience and you have, and they are oppressing you, right? And they're talking down about you, for example. Well, then what your soul wants you to do is to stand up for yourself and basically not be one who could possibly be victimized by that. If I told, let's say, the most famous supermodel in the world, you are completely ugly, it would just fall on deaf ears for the world. This is, again, an extreme. This is just a metaphor, because she's recognized as incredibly beautiful. You know what I mean? So if you could be that soul supermodel, and it would just not even make any sense if someone were to be oppressing you, because you can't be oppressed because you're all powerful from the inside, you see? And so that is what the relationship is doing. It's showing you how you can experience greater power from within, extending to without. And that is actually you contributing to the world. By showing others how powerful you can be, then they can say, well, maybe I'll be powerful as well. If she can do it, so can I. We feel that energy. We feel that frequency coming to us. So absolutely, it happened yesterday. It's your intuition. That is your power. That's your own soul coming forward, your own light shining out. So congratulations for listening to your own beauty. And just keep at it, sweetheart.
Thank you.
Thank you for calling, Tiana. Keep listening, because I'll be breaking down some of this concept a bit, and I think you'll really resonate with that as well. Thank you so much for calling in.
No problem. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, and I'll mute my phone.
Okay, darling. Thank you. Take a sip of water there for a moment. All right. And so, again, positive and negative energies, let's look at them emotionally neutral and think of them just as tools, just as the way that energy flows, either to create or to dematerialize. And what happens is that we begin to experience a manifestation. We desire, we connect within ourselves of something that we want to see in the world, a relationship, a situation, a job, bringing money in. And as we start to create these things, if we start to feel the ebb, meaning negative emotion. Now, in this case, I do mean that which is causing us to feel suffering, an emotion that is fearful. So when a fear-based emotion, when a fear-based experience starts to show up, well, that is an indicator of a limiting belief, a belief that, as Tiana, we were exploring, that I can't be strong enough, or I can't do this. It all comes down to the conditioning that we experienced in the world, by the world. And so let's say that I want to create my dream job. And as I start to think about this dream job, perhaps it's something that is entrepreneurial. So I must create it on my own, right? Maybe I have a history of being able to get a job and someone else gives me my paycheck as long as I follow directions. And a lot of this is outward referencing. So if I want to shift to being an entrepreneur and creating my own business, well, some fear can come up about that. Can I really do that? Is that really possible? That makes me scared. I need to depend on someone else and their approval of me in order to be able to survive. These are all limiting beliefs. And so they show up as fear. And we can ask, well, what am I afraid of? And you see, they fight the positive working energy, again, the one that is integrating, because what is actually happening so far as how is the negative energy coming in, is the negative energy is coming in because it wants to disintegrate that limiting belief. And so being able to see this type of energy flow just neutrally and understand, well, fear is just an emotional indicator. It's a messenger saying there is, in order for me to continue to create with that positive energy, the negative energy is coming in to break something down. And the best way to be able to use those energies is to just then feel deeper into the creative energy, the positive energy. I want to become an entrepreneur. I recognize over here that I'm afraid that I'm not strong enough or talented enough. And so that is the limiting belief. Focus a little harder on the reasons and the outcome and the experience and the joy, those emotions that lead you into the desire to be an entrepreneur. And when those get so loud and so bright, that limiting belief just doesn't make any sense anymore. I know that the universe needs what I have. I know that I'm here because I am needed. Because the universe doesn't make any mistakes. Nature doesn't make any mistakes. And so as I continue to highlight that and deepen my awareness in those areas, the one where the fear led us into the limiting experience, that negative energy continues to do its work. And it continues to just break down the limiting belief while we are enhancing the positive energy on the unlimiting beliefs, the beliefs of experiencing and becoming more and more who we truly are. So when we feel the fearful emotions crop up, if you could take a step back and become a bit objective and realize all fear is an emotion, a message to show me that there is some negative dematerializing energy happening in me. Well, that's exciting, right? That's a good thing. See, we sometimes get afraid of fear. We're adding fear to fear. But if we recognize that fear is really just an indicator that there is some dematerializing going on inside us, then we can actually use positive energy to enhance what is happening inside us that is dematerializing. And so just to point out how this happens in nature, as this broadcast is going out, we are in the fall, the autumn, heading into winter in the Northern Hemisphere. So it is October, and the energies of nature started to shift. And it actually kind of happened really, really sharply in my experience, at least in my ecosystem, about 3 weeks ago, as the late summer energy started to shift into what is that more like autumn. And as that shift happens, sometimes people actually experience seasonal affective disorder, which is when the season changes and when there isn't as much light, they start to feel depressed energy. And there's something very intuitive about that. There's something very instinctive about that. Because there is a shift in energies from the boldness of creating energy, of the materializing energy that happens during summer and spring, to dematerializing. You see, we have to allow the plants to wither and die so that they may fertilize the soil for the next season of materialization. I'm from Texas originally, and there is the flower called a bluebonnet. Isn't that what it's called? Yeah, bluebonnet. I'm from Texas, but I've been in California a very long time. So the bluebonnet is the state flower of Texas. It's really cool because if you probably know Texas has a lot of state pride. Like I think the California state flower is the poppy, but I know that the Texas state flower is the bluebonnet. Texas kind of has this state pride thing. It's interesting. It's a different kind of culture. And I do know also that it's illegal to pick the bluebonnet in Texas. Maybe it's illegal in California to pick the poppy too. I'm not really sure, even though I've been here longer. But the bluebonnet is beautiful, beautiful flower. It's lavender, purple, has indigo colors in it, really, and white in its center. To me, this is very indicative of the higher chakra energy, the really wise and creative and visionary kind of energy. And it's upheld by a green stem, which is the energy of like the heart chakra, Archangel Raphael. And so we have this love, this unconditional love, this heart chakra energy upholding wisdom and vision and creator energy. Well, the bluebonnet, for it to bloom in the spring and summer, has to actually experience a freeze in the winter. You see, the shell of the bluebonnet seed is really, really hard and thick. And the gentle energy, the gentle materializing energy, the positive energy inside the seed, it's too subtle to be able to create a stalk that would crack through the seed on its own. And so there needs to be a freeze. And that freeze causes the shell to harden even more and eventually crack open. You know how a freeze will break something. Well, that freeze is really powerful negative energy, intensifying and enhancing the contractedness of the shell, so much so that it has to give way. In a way, it sort of implodes. And as that freeze allows that shell to open, then the subtle, beautiful, tender energy that creates the sprout of the flower, it can now navigate its way through the crack in the shell during the spring. Without the freeze, without that extreme negative energy, the bluebonnet would never be able to express itself in the ecosystem come its season. And so we see how beautiful the flow and the ebb of energy is, the positive and the negative. We need both. And what is really helpful in understanding them just in that neutral sense of the energy that materializes or dematerializes, then we can take it into our emotional body and recognize that excited, blissful, joyful energy is one of creator energy, of the positive building energy, the integrating energy. And when the fearful energy crops up, that just means that it's a dematerialization of something that no longer serves us. And we can release the fear as an experience, as a total experience. You see, it helps us to integrate all of the energies, even the one that is the dematerializing energy, and use the emotional body as a powerful messenger. And so, as I was communicating with Tiana, the caller, I was saying that our own light, our own experience, what I call the seed information, like the bluebonnet's seed, it is something that the ecosystem, the universe, that the world needs from us. And so this is a fundamental belief that is really important to enhance and bring awareness to in order for us to be able to utilize the energies of positive and negative, of materializing and dematerializing. You see, we have to allow negative functioning, the dematerialization of our limiting beliefs, so that we can get to the core positive beliefs, the core materializing, integrative beliefs. So one thing I want to spend a little time on is to realize that we actually do have, by being here, that proves to us that we have the right to be here. Not only the right, but a calling forth. Our soul energy is here to expand. Your soul purpose is here in any experience to expand and to unfold. You see, there's only one energy truly in the universe, because energy is something that it's just a sea. You know, there isn't really any separation if we think of everything just as energy. Even though some things are more contracted energy, it's still energy. Some things are in an experience more solid, it's still just energy, and there's no separation. And if we trace it all the way back, there is just a prime source of energy. So we may call this God. We may call this source energy. In highest truth, in the most expanded view, there is only one energy. And if there is only one energy, since there is only one energy, then we are an expression of one energy. If there is ownership of any kind, if there is existence, then we are co-owners of the experience. And so we dispatched from the experience of just one into one of being a reflection of one. And everything that we brought through that intention must unfold. You have co-ownership with the universe. You are a co-creator with the universe. It is incumbent upon you to allow yourself to unfold your unique expression, your notes of the song of the one universe. And so I'm bringing this into view here so that we can understand that this is how we can allow the manipulation or the mastery of positive and negative energies to allow us to have prosperity, financial freedom, really. And not only in abundance, as we say, not only in the literal cash sense, but also in the sense of all of the resources, of how we move through the world, how we experience our life. So we would say how we spend our time. We spend our money, we spend our time, we make our money. And we do, because time is an illusion. And so we are making time to be able to connect with complete abundance about all of the resources that we have, that we see as what is fueling our life and our experience. We must realize that we deserve. We deserve that. Deserve is a lower energy word than we actually are, because we don't just deserve to have abundant resources of time and energy and love and positive connecting with others. We co-own that with the universe. We are co-owners and co-creators of this experience. And exactly who you are the agent of how that is meant to unfold for you. So as we confront the limiting beliefs, all we have to do is compare them to the light, the expanded belief, the true beliefs, the things that are the truth of who you are. And so far as abundance is concerned, recognizing that you are a co-owner of this universe, of all that there is to have. There is plenty for everyone. And so being able to allow that to come to you, you must first understand that fundamentally. Now, I want to talk to you also about what actually happens in the creating experience, the manifesting experience, having to do again with the energies of positive and negative and the energies of connecting. You see, since everything is energy, when we connect our energies together, we actually create a third energy. And this is something that happens in the communicating space or the connecting space, the energetic connection of what I'm going to call telempathy. We talk about telepathy, and I'm an animal communicator, and so it's animal or interspecies telepathy, and that's one way to look at it. That is one mindset to experience. But telempathy, meaning that we are using an experience to connect with others in that feeling nature. This is actually how we create. So let's just take, for example, channeling or doing an intuitive reading or something like that, a psychic reading, psychic energy. So what happens when we are actually, let's say if I channel Archangel Raphael, or I'm reading another person, I'm connecting with their energy and bringing through insight from the non-physical space or from the spiritual space. Well, what's actually happening is the energy of the other is connecting with the energy of me, and it becomes a third energy. And how this happens is by the power of that positive integrating energy. So I integrate my energy with the energy of another, and it becomes a new energy. Well, that new energy, that third energy between the two, actually becomes a part of the individuals as well forever. So it changes you. This is what our soul is actually composed of, just energy. It's like a vortex of energy that is a co-creative experience with everyone, anything, every imagining that we have. And so you can actually go into a session of meditation, self-hypnosis, of trance, and you can call into your experience the energy of someone that you admire, with the intention of bringing them forward in the ways that you admire them, and energies that help you to actually feel more your own self, an excitement. It is, again, as I was talking to Tiana, the caller, about someone who is in you, you have a relationship with, who may seemingly oppress you. Well, someone else that you either know in the real physical life or not, or someone of history, even someone who is no longer on the planet, you could call them forward. And those energies that light you up are actually reflections of you. It's mirroring back to you who you are. When you feel that excited energy, that blissful energy, that joy, that's you. That's your creator energy. That's your positive energy at work. And we have the tool, the experience of another, to be able to mirror it to us, to show it to us. And as we bring into your awareness, let's say you really admire Meryl Streep, you can go into meditation and bring your awareness to all of those qualities of Meryl Streep that you really, really love, that inspire you. Recognizing that the more that you allow the idea of those energies of Meryl Streep, it's a real experience. Her real energy is connecting with your real energy, creating a new experience that becomes a part of your soul now. Isn't that cool? You can actually have a real experience with someone that you don't even know. And of course, you can have this with your spirit guides, your angels, and your ancestors and those who are on the other side. That is actually what's happening. And everyone not only has this power, it just is how things work. And so sometimes when I'm teaching something like this, I've had someone ask me, well, what happens about what's happening with the people that we don't want to experience, the negative experiencing? Well, you see, the negative experiencing is, again, just highlighting the positive, and the positive is the only thing that remains in your soul, you see? So having the awareness of how the duality of energy works will allow you to abundantly look at how it's working for you and with you. And so someone who is creating that, or let's say you're co-creating the experience of being oppressed and you being a victim, only the positive energies that are coming through actually become a part of your energy. That is actually what is, again, integrating, because the disintegration can't stay. It actually is a repelling energy, and it helps to repel from you that which no longer serves you. And so as we are connecting with another, and this can be in a conversation, we're actually, meaning like a physical person to a physical person having a conversation, we are having a co-feeling experience, a co-thinking experience. And we're creating in all of the ways that our energies are positively attracting to one another, we're creating something brand new. And this stays in that vortex of your soul forever. This is what happens when we are experiencing a healing in our physical body too, or in our emotional body. We are actually connecting with the energies of the positive and allowing those negative, dematerializing energies to fall away. And so you can call into your experience Archangel Raphael. This is why Archangel Raphael is leading this talk or this discussion today, is because Archangel Raphael explained that this is all that the healing energy is recognizing, is separating or even compartmentalizing the negative and the positive energies, allowing both of them to do their job in a way that is the highest good for the individual and therefore the all. Because again, co-ownership. So if you wanted to experience healing in your physical body, sit with the emotions of it as neutrally as possible. See where the light and the happy and the sad, the joy energy is, those emotions, and allow them to articulate what it means to be in a different physical state. And then neutrally look at the fear energy. Allow it to articulate what it is that you are desiring to no longer experience, the limiting beliefs that are being let go. The way that you can look at those fear beliefs, those limiting beliefs, is just to ask yourself, what am I afraid of? What am I afraid of? If it comes to physical ailments, it's usually, well, I'm afraid of pain, and I'm afraid of having a life of pain. And of course, I'm afraid of expiring. I'm afraid of dying and no longer existing here in the physical sense. Well, as we know that we are actually eternal, we can take care of that dying one by connecting with the more expanded view that no matter what, we are eternal, that nothing actually ever ends, and that everything exists. And for the pain experience, we can just allow the fear to help us to recognize that pain is often just changing of energies. A lot of times pain is associated to growth and shifting and releasing of energy. And that pain can actually take all of this, a certain kind of psychic energy, meaning spiritual energy, and that awareness into a system that allows it to be more easily seen and more easily released. As it concentrates, then the light energy, the non-pain, can actually be enhanced. And so being able to sit in that experience and just allow the messages of the emotions to take us into the articulation of beliefs. This is utilizing this law of how energy works. And so as you can also use that telempathy to just enhance the experience of wellness, to enhance the experience of vitality. Just meditating in your feeling body upon wellness and vitality. And again, you could use another personality, be it an angel, a person, or just a concept of wellness. You can allow that awareness to enhance and build and integrate so much into you that it creates that third identity that's a part of you forever. And that will then inform you how to move and how to be in the next moment. So just continuing to pursue that joy, that excitement and passion actually informs how to move in the experience. And everyone has this power. This is how we are. This is just how we are. I mean, call it a power if you want, but it's just what is. It's who you are. And so I would encourage you to, if you feel as though you don't know how to sort of master the function of this law of using positive integrative energy or negative dematerializing energy, is to give yourself permission to spend time with yourself, feeling deeply into the purity of who you are, meditating upon the belief that you have not only the right and the deservedness to be here, but it is evidential, it is empirical, because you are here. You are here, you do experience, you are. And this is evidence that your creation is exactly what we all need. Well, we are just about out of time for this show today, and I'm going to take one breath in, if you want to take it in with me, and we can connect with the energy of Archangel Raphael. The energy of healing is just the energy of experiencing what you truly are. There is no time and space. There is only being. And your being, your beingness, is eternal. You are a perpetual creation. As a perpetual creation, as a perpetual creator, the energies of ebbing and negativity, of moving away from something, is a part of the path of moving forward. Embrace this. Know that it is exactly your calling, your individualized calling in this beautiful experience of the all. Awaken to you. Hold the space of the purity of you. This is all, and this is everything. Be the blessing of your own pure energy. We are grateful for you. You allow us to be ourselves. Amen. And so it is. Thank you, Raphael. And just a reminder, as I sign off today, that I would love for you to connect, go check out that class series, because being able to foster this relationship with archangelic energies, these higher expanded energies, it actually regrids you and helps you to shake out that which you are ready to dematerialize. Work with those energies, regrid your field. Understanding the universal laws, or really just remembering what you already know deep in your soul, and to, again, move away from the conditioning that no longer serves you. So go check it out, triciacarcharm.com/AA-UL. It's a 7-month, 7-cycle. You can opt in and out at any time. So do check that out. And of course, I have my one-on-one sessions at triciacarcharm.com. And we'll be up here live again next week, or you can connect with it by searching Charmed Life with Tricia Carr in iTunes, and my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/Tricia Carr. So thank you so much for being here today. And thanks for tuning in. I love you, whoever you are.